Good afternoon. Today is Tuesday, September 19th, 2023, and this is the second hearing for this month for the City of Tempe hearing officer. My name is Vanessa McDonald. I am the hearing officer. I'm going to read something into the record and then we'll jump into our very brief agenda this afternoon. The City of Tempe hearing officer is authorized by Arizona Revised Statutes and the City of Tempe Zoning and Development Code. The hearing officer has the duty to carry out the provisions and the intent of the Zoning and Development Code and the Tempe City Code. The hearing officer is granted the authority to conduct public hearings to decide upon the abatement of code violations occurring on properties within the city. These violations include, among other things, deteriorated structures or landscaping and storage of junk or refuse. Abatement actions are brought before the hearing officer by the city's Code Compliance Division, typically after numerous attempts at contacting the property owner to obtain voluntary compliance with the code. The hearing officer may issue an order directing the owner, occupant, property manager, or other responsible person to remediate a code violation, or may authorize the city to abate the property to correct a code violation. The cost of the abatement is the responsibility of the owner of the property where the violation occurred and will be collected as a lien assessment against the property in violation of the code. On today's agenda, I said before it was very brief. We only have two items, a set of minutes from September 5th, 2023, and one property abatement. Any property owner who's aggrieved by a decision of the hearing officer may file an appeal within 14 calendar days after the hearing officer has made a decision. The deadline for appealing any decision rendered today is 3 p.m. on October 3rd, 2023. Appeals are heard by the Board of Adjustment, after which they may also be appealed in Superior Court. A property owner has 14 days to either file an appeal or bring the property into code compliance within this 14-day window. If neither of these things happen within the required time frame, the property will be abated by the city. Joining me this afternoon from Community Development are Drew Yoakum to my left and Sean DeFara, a new face this afternoon. Okay, so the first item, as I mentioned, was a set of minutes from September 5th, 2023. I had a chance to review those minutes when they were sent to me last week, and I think they accurately reflect what took place at that hearing. So I'm going to go ahead and approve the minutes of September 5th, 2023. Second item on the agenda is a request for approval to abate public nuisance items at the Egger property located at 6249 South Parkside Drive. The applicant is City of Tempe Code Compliance, represented this afternoon by Code Inspector Julie Schofield. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Madam Hearing Officer, Senior Code Inspector Julie Schofield. I'm here today to ask for a 180-day open abatement for the property located at 6249 South Parkside Drive, which is in the vicinity of Tempe. This case has been open since May 8th. It was assigned to a previous inspector who is no longer with us. The inspector's name was Alima Dia. At the time, Ms. Dia had sent first and a final notice to the owner of this property, with no luck in getting the property corrected. I actually took over this case in June 21st of 2023. I inspected the property and found that there was indeed overheight grass and weeds, a sidewalk obstruction, dead bushes, and I mailed another final notice at that time. A citation was issued in July for the deteriorated landscaping and the sidewalk obstruction. At this time, the owner has failed to appear for that citation, and there currently has been no contact with the owner of this property. At this time, I'd like to show you some current pictures of the property that were taken earlier today. This just shows you the front of the property and the area where the overheight grass and weeds have been growing. This is just a side view of the grass and weeds in that dirt area. This house is on the corner of Guadalupe and Parkside. And so it's a very busy street, but all along here is a lot of dead oleander bushes. So if approved, we would be cutting down all the dead oleanders and anything that's hanging over
And
into the sidewalk.
those oleanders are on private property, not the public right-of-way?
Yes, that is correct. Just a close-up of one of the oleanders to show the dead portions of it, and also another picture to show that the dead oleanders are growing into the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So again, here today to ask for 180-day open abatement to take care of the landscaping in the front yard, the dead bushes on the side of the house, and also to trim any bushes that are obstructing the sidewalk.
Okay, thank you. And just to reiterate, the property owner has not been responsive to any of your communications,
That is
correct?
correct.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Yocum, do we have anyone on the line this afternoon wanting to speak?
No, Madam Hearing Officer.
Okay, thank you. I'll note for the record that there's no one from the public here in the chamber this afternoon, so no one here to speak on this agenda item. Well, I agree with your assessment. The property, I had pictures in my packet dated July, and the property's only gotten worse since then. So I'm going to go ahead and approve your 180-day request for the property located at 6249 South Parkside Drive, contained in application CE 232778.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, I said it would be short, and it was. Mr. Yocum, any announcements?
Yes, just the one. Our next scheduled hearing officer meeting is set for October 3rd. That will be at 5 p.m., held here in the Tempe City Council chambers, as well as live on Tempe 11.
Great, thank you. We're adjourned.